He looked at me weird.
Oh no, let's not.
I felt guilty.
I'm thinking something in my head, and I hope that's not what she's trying to say. That's deeply disturbing. Alright, so now we're... Oh, my voice is getting worse. So now we're with the mother now, Mari. And she has a rosary right here, so let's go ahead and click on that. Oh, it's a memory. I did not know it was going to go to a freaking flashback. Woo!
Hold on.
My throat's on fire.
What's that around your neck? Is that a cross?
This? It's a childhood
That's right.
keepsake. I found it in my stuff a while back.
What? Were you a choir girl or something?
First of all, Jesus don't even look like that, but I'm not going to cause an uproar. Not even going to cause an uproar, but he does not look like that.
About your youth.
What the heck? After all, why not? That might do me good. And I owe you that.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Just shut your mouth, pour me a glass of wine, and listen.
All right, let's see. So here is the rosary. All right, Jesus, who does not look like that, but whatever. I digress. I will vent later or get my theories on my other YouTube channel, but whatever. So let's go ahead and click on Jesus.
We used to live in a small village in the east. Gray, boring, and hideous. People were dumb and mean, always keeping tabs on others to tear them down. And of course, these fakers were in church all the time. I spent years in that cesspool, never asking questions. When I was 14, let me tell you, Jesus was my best friend. I would tell him about everything I did wrong in my head. And let me tell you, I was a terrible kid. Naughty, ill-behaved, always running around. A tiny devil. And also,
girl, don't call yourself
I had this desire and fire in my chest. Nasty thoughts. But I really thought
you
that
feisty.
he loved me as I was.
Of course. Your relationship with God or Jesus, or whatever you believe in, is up to you. Don't let anybody sway your opinion.
Back then, I had 3 sources of comfort. Jesus, books, and drawing. So I spent an insane amount of time sketching in the neighborhood churches. It was a disease. Everything I laid eyes on had to end up on a sheet of paper. At least then, people left me alone.
Girl, somebody bought you, better go beat their ass, but whatever. All right, let's go. There's Jesus. Okay.
Otherwise,
there goes privacy.
Let me tell you that I never got a minute of peace. Family with 4 kids living in a 2-room apartment. So,
oh my goodness,
I looked after them, washing them, doing their homework. I was the oldest, 7 years ahead of my oldest brother. Those little ones were like my own kids. My mother had too much work. At least, while I was taking care of them, I didn't have those weird desires.
Oh, I know what you're trying to say. I know exactly what you're trying to say. Say less.
My dad always had a steak on his plate when he got home. Every night. My mother used to say that he deserved it, working his ass off at the mill for us. But one night, I was still awake when he came home. He was completely shit-faced. He was living in the fallen
he turned
world.
up.
The steel industry was his life, but his life had no tomorrow. So he drank. That night he looked at me weird.
Oh no, let's not.
I felt guilty.
I'm thinking something in my head, and I hope that's not what she's trying to say. That's deeply disturbing.
We were 2 peas in a pod, my aunt and I. She was the whore in the family. She didn't want to sell. She didn't want kids. She had escaped to leave the crazy
That's her choice. Why should I be the whore?
Freedom. The exact opposite of my mother. One time, she
I call her
told me
brave.
something about my mom and dad. Something that blew everything else up. There was an evening dance. He was 19 and she was 15. According to my aunt,
Oh.
he was a bit tipsy. He brought her into a small clearing and there he forced her. They had to get married in a hurry.
Your dad's a menace.
When they learned that my mother was pregnant. Pregnant
Wow.
with me.
He was a menace. Wow.
My mother always worked her butt off. She would work one factory job after the other, then clean up rich folks' homes. I used to think she was the bravest person in the world. And the strongest. Of
I
course,
used to.
she had her own temper. She would get into these screaming matches sometimes. And she would drink too. But I was convinced that I could trust her.
Uh-oh. Something must have happened. Okay, let's see. Anything else in here in the chapel? Okay, Jesus. The drop. Okay, anything in here? Nothing in here yet. Okay, oh, go back. There it goes. The slab.
night-
Oh my goodness.
I went out with some girlfriends and boyfriends. We only went to the movies.
As you should.
But she
Have
lectured
fun,
me
dang.
for bringing shame on this family, she said. People at church are talking. Something bad's gonna happen
Man,
to
kiss
you
my
if you
acid,
keep
how about
tempting
that?
men. I answered that if it ever happened to me, I, for one, wouldn't marry my abuser. She hit me.
Woo!
For the first time. She hit me again later. I was getting slapped around because she hated her life. I was blaming her for not fighting back. I wasn't going to let her treat me
Wow.
like this.
Girl. Ooh, she was jealous. Look back to have free to do what I want to do at this
The
age.
day after, it felt like a spell was broken. The church stank. The sculptures were
Wow.
ugly. And the
Wow.
male-dominated Jesus stuff made me sick. You don't love me.
Oh.
I whispered to him. Bastard. At that very moment, and
Wow.
that, let me tell you, that's something I'll never forget. The Christ started to bleed.
Wow, I feel like I watched somebody's villain story arc just emerged. Wow. Hey. Oh, now it's red.
I had my first period right after my tantrum at the church. I was already 14 years old. Pretty late. But then, my body started to develop.
I'm sorry.
The more
Oh, go
my
back.
body changed,
Meat.
the more my father scared me. Hell, he terrified me. Not just because he was domineering and brutal. It was uncomfortable
Dang.
even being in the same room as him. He was
You
always
probably been a creep.
watching me, commenting on my clothes. I felt like a piece of meat.
Wow, what a bastard. Dang. She hit you real good. Dang, not your
The last time she
freaking
raised
nose
her
bleeding.
hand to me, she hit me so hard. My nose started bleeding. We were having another fight
Oh my
about
gosh.
one of my outings. By that time, I was going out for real. Just to spite her. You know me. She called me a harlot.
Yeah, middle finger to her.
So, I bit back. At least I'm not gonna stick with the first guy who knocks me up. I didn't have time to
Dang.
finish saying it. Whack! She slapped the shit out of me, and she spit out. If it were up to me, you're the one I would have dumped. It's stupid. But that struck me right in the gut. And that's when it came up, boiling. The rage. I tasted blood in my throat. I couldn't think straight. My ears started ringing. I felt a jolt running through my body. And then And it was over. I couldn't walk it back.
Wow.
This
That was
cross
intense.
is the only thing I have left from her, you know? I took it when I left home that very night. I stole it from her. I don't know why I took it. I used to do that a lot back then. Steal stuff. But I'm happy I did it. It gives me a chance to think about her, to remember, never to be like her.
Well, I like that. Good reminder.
You
Be
see,
better.
I'm always telling you to face things head on. But that day, I left. I met with my aunt in Paris with just a few cents in my pocket. I never saw them again. Not her, not him,
Wow.
the kids.
Left everything.
And I never.
Does she have an ally? I'm proud. Okay.
You
Maddie.
hear, Miss Kivas? Shit, don't tell me you fell asleep. What a disaster. You really can't handle your booze. Don't worry, daughter. I will still be there tomorrow. And the next day, too. There to tell you again what you already know. People are ugly, let me tell you. They're dangerous. All of them. That's just the way things are. It's inside them. The evil is, we need to defend ourselves. Stay vigilant. That's how I got out of it. Jen gets it, I think. But you, darling, you're too weak. You want to trust people. You want to have faith, but I told you many times. You can't trust anyone. Ever.
Ooh.
You don't need me to tell you that. Life's unfair. That's just how it is.
Wow. That was intense.
So this is what your life was like. That explains so many things. Now I understand why you can't trust anyone. Why you
Yeah, she trusts her dang parents.
Anytime I think about how it must have been for you, it's increasingly obvious. How lucky I was to have Astrid. Every second of my life I spent with her was filled with happiness. You never got to have that. Not as a daughter. Nor as a mother. But how could I forget what you told me last night? I mean, I wasn't all there. Too little sleep and too much wine. But for the first time in your life, you open up a little and I nod off. It's absurd.
They get together.
As if I didn't want to hear it. Was it that I was angry that you waited so long before telling me? Or was it something else?
Good question.
Something I didn't want to look in the face until now?
Bouquet of flowers. Uh-oh, wait a minute. I would freak if I was witnessing this. My nose in her head, though.
What the
Uh-oh. What's that in my ear? Oh, am I gonna go back memory lane now? Well, I got a lot to click on. Oh, snap. Okay. Dang, okay, I guess I go down the list.